folks, this is the segment, we call it the Bitch and Gripe. Folks, we'll do the segment every day. If you got a bitch and gripe, give it to me, 314-714-4200. We take all bitches and gripes on the Sports Mayhem USA. Folks, my bitch and gripe for the day. My bitch and gripe concerns who? Those communist folks out of Indianapolis, we call them the NCAA. Folks, the NCAA 2 months ago passed legislation that that universities would have the opportunity and they wouldn't be required, but they would have the opportunity to issue a $2,000 stipend to all athletes, to all Division I athletes. They would have the option to issue a $2,000 stipend to all Division I athletes. In the last 5 days, the NCAA has made the decision to shelve that legislation. That $2,000, just as fast as it was getting ready to be given out, has been shelved, and no one will be getting it. Athletes will not be getting it. Now, everybody who knows John Parker, who knows the coach, knows me and knows my feelings on the NCAA. The NCAA, and I don't mind telling you, is the largest accumulation of pimps in the entire country. That's all they are. It is an organization that is based on nothing but pimping out athletes. Okay? And the athletes are the prostitutes. Let's just call them what they are. Okay? At some point in time, athletes and parents are going to step up to the plate on this deal, and they're going to understand what the real game is. At no point in time should any one person or a non-governmental entity have the right to tell you or your 18-year-old son or daughter what their worth is, what their value is, what their potential marketability is, then have them sign a paper, the letter of intent, that takes every single one of those rights away. Then that same university turn around, market that same young person, that same young man or same young lady, and make millions of dollars off of them and not be required to share any of that revenue with that young person or their parents. That is my bitch and gripe. The NCAA has been running roughshod, completely roughshod, on athletics for 60 years. And at some point in time, parents who are all mesmerized, this is my problem with this, is that parents become mesmerized by the word scholarship. And that's the only thing they think about. That my son got a scholarship. My daughter got a scholarship. My son got a full ride to go here. One, there's no such thing as a full ride. There's absolutely no such thing as a full ride. Okay? Everything is paid for. Those scholarships are 1-year renewable contracts, and they are renewable at what? The coach's discretion. That means if your son is playing college football, young mother out there, your son is playing college football or college basketball, and that coach wakes up on the wrong side of the bed halfway through his college year, and he doesn't want to give that scholarship back to your son or daughter the following year, guess what? He doesn't have to. And you know what else? He doesn't have to tell you why. He can just do it. That's the way it works out there. They tell you that you're going to have all this stuff given to you. You know what? College athletes can't even eat on the weekends. You are limited to how many meals you can have. And for all those people that think you're getting 3 squares a day, you're not getting 3 squares. If you're on a full scholarship, some meal plans are sitting at 19 meals a week. They've even cut those back for economic costs to 14 meals a week. That's 2 meals a day for an athlete who's landed on the line for a university that's making millions of dollars off of his and her sweat. And if you think that's right, you're crazy. You're out of your mind. At some point in time, parents and student athletes are going to realize that they can take control of this situation. They can take over and get the rights back in their hands to their young person or themselves. No non-governmental agency should ever be able to tell an 18-year-old person that they can't market themselves. And yet, if you out there or a music scholarship, you're on a music scholarship at a university, say a full music scholarship. You know what happens? You're on the same scholarship as I am if I'm on an athletic scholarship. And yet, here's the difference. You can go out and play in a band on the weekend. You can go out and market yourself. You can go out and make thousands of dollars on the weekend. You know what? I can't even work at Burger King because the NCAA won't let athletes work. And if we do go out and work over the summertime, you know what happens? If we make more than $2,000, which is what this stipend was going to be, if we make more than $2,000 in that year, it's going to come off of our scholarship in the fall because, you know what? We made too much money. Is that fair? Folks, if you don't know what I'm talking about, let me make it clear to you. There's an organization out there right now that is fighting for the rights of student athletes and parents in this country. It's called the National Student Athlete Advocacy Alliance. Everybody out there who has a young person, knows a young person, who understands that they should be having more rights and more rewards as student athletes should join this organization. And folks, it's not hundreds of dollars, it's not thousands of dollars. You can join the National Student Athlete Advocacy Alliance for $20 a year. 20. $20 a year. And help us fight for the rights of student athletes and parents in this country. It is out of control. The NCAA is out of control. Dr. Mark Emmert, you're out of control. And how you guys sleep at night after sticking it to young people is beyond me. But I can promise you, the National Student Athlete Advocacy Alliance, Dr. Emmert, is coming. And we're coming for you real soon. Folks, that's my bitch and gripe for today. If you got a bitch and gripe, you send it to me at iWatchRadio.com, or you can send it to the Sports Mayhem USA. To the Sports Mayhem USA at yahoo.com. Hey, send it to the coach. I'll get it on here, and we'll talk about it on the bitch and gripe. Folks, this is the Sports Mayhem USA on iWatchRadio.com, where you can finally see what we're talking about. I am the coach, John Parker. Sit tight. Stay in the saddle. We'll be right back to wrap this up.